All right, guys, we're back. We're talking about Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 10. I'm going to start off with a message to Kirsten. Will the real Kirsten please stand up? Because I don't know who you are, girl. It's like you are an alien. You can't just tell this man something simple about yourself that he doesn't know. You don't have to go to the deepest, darkest place in your soul. Okay? Nobody's asking for that right now, girl. What are you doing? What are you doing on this show? And as much as she's getting on my nerves, I actually do kind of understand, where she could be coming from. The problem with that is she's sitting there asking Dom, why did she leave? Girl, you need to be right behind Dom. You should have been out the door before Dom. So Dom, to me, is seeming more and more intelligent as the episodes start to go by, because this doesn't make any sense. I'm going to need Kirsten to make a decision. She's either going to have to participate in this experiment with Shaquille, or she's just going to have to go back home and let that man go and live his life. I can see the stress it's just in his body. It's not just in his face, it's just in his whole body. They can't mop the floor together. They can't even shop for a plant together. So I see some impatience happening with him. And I didn't believe her on the after show. It's clipped down there when I said that I called BS on her too. I just didn't believe Kirsten. I don't know what's going on with her. That girl needs to be in therapy instead of being on the show. And I don't get it. How can you not want this man to know? She said, I don't know, there's nothing else I can tell you. But she just told him, there's a lot about me. See, that was the truth. When she told him, that he didn't know, that there was a lot about her that he didn't know, yeah, that was true. And then the lie came when she said she can't think of anything, to tell him. So there is something going on with this girl. The hypocrisy that is leaping out of her is knocking me out. It's knocking me out. And Shaquille doesn't get to go skating off into the sunset scot-free either. There's something wrong with him. He said to her something that she should have been told before he told anybody else. So he's announcing to the whole room that he had a job opportunity that he turned down. And he's putting a face on it that he's doing it for the good of his marriage. While all that may be true, the problem is Shaquille can't be making these kind of decisions without at least talking to her about it. He can tell her, I'm just, I'm letting you know that I've already, made this decision, for myself. But I want to share it with you, X, Y, and Z. That is called respect. And then I think I'm going to find it and clip it where he's talking about as a man, he is going to make, that decision. I do not like that. He did that with that Jackson trip to his own medical conference or whatever it was, his conference for his doctorate program. Yeah, no, that's unacceptable. And I don't like that quality that I see in him. So this is going to be real interesting to me. What do I have written down? Okay. They had a scene where Kirsten talked with her friend of hers, one of her bridesmaids, and she's jumping up and down about spending time. She needs to spend all this time with Shaq, so that she can get to know him, so that she can make a good decision on decision day. Well, don't you think that he wants that same opportunity, Kirsten? How is he supposed to make a good decision on decision day when you're not giving him the kind of information that he needs in order to be able to make said decision? I mean, you're a paradox. You're a walking and talking paradox right now. And I just did not like that move that she did on the after show. That bothers me because she needs to exit the experiment. What she displayed on the after show, she's in a serious place and she needs serious care. If she's to a point where she can't share something as simple as, I like country music or whatever. Are you serious right now? Tell this man something about you. And more and more, I'm understanding why her dad wasn't interested in coming to her wedding. She is just knocking me out with her ridiculousness. I want to know what is she gonna do with all this time that she want to spend with Shaq. They couldn't even pick out flowers together. And the other thing with Shaq too, and both of them, I don't think that she was as interested in shopping for plants, Shaq. You could have found out something that she wanted to do and maybe learned more about her that way, instead of taking her on a guided tour of plant shopping when you saw that she didn't have any in her apartment. It's just nothing she's interested in. So, I don't know. I think that was a missed opportunity. And it kind of reminds me of when Nate was talking about Stasha. He said that businesswoman Stasha, that's a whole different animal than just regular, human Stasha. So Dr. Dillon needs to check Dr. Dillon at the door. He needs to leave that joker clock out when you get ready to come home inside of that door. I don't need to be dealing with Dr. Dillon. I thought it was kind of cute that he had his mentees, come over. He said he's trying to learn how to balance his time between them and his program and his wife. So, it kind of reminds me of Clint jumping up and down about Gina and her work-life balance. I don't see, where's the work side of Clint? All I see is the boat Clint and honeymoon Clint. And where's work Clint? I haven't seen work Clint yet. So I've seen some of Play Gina and Work Gina, because they showed us, the salon. They showed him going into the salon. But yeah, I need to see that. So with Kirsten and Shaq, where is that? So I said that about the Jackson, Mississippi thing. Yeah, I said that about the plants. So, and then I said this about the friend. She called herself setting up a date for him. I thought it was just so weak. It was so tired and weak. And I don't think either one of them really answered. There was a question that they had to ask. I think the expert sent them a list of questions. And it was, have you ever been in love? And I didn't like either one of their answers. I really honestly didn't. So, I don't know. I don't think that was productive. And if they need, where's the expert? I'm looking around for an expert, because these people are in trouble. They really are. And Kirsten, again, I'm not going to get fixated, because I still got to talk about Eris and his ridiculousness. I thought that Shaq, in that conversation, I'm jumping all over the place, y'all, but, I have a lot going on, so please bear with me in this video. I almost didn't do it, but here I am. So I thought that when they were having the spa night and they were soaking their feet and had the blindfolds on, he really held himself well in that conversation. And he was letting her know, no, we're going to stay. Because I remember him saying that she maneuvers the conversation. So he kept her on track. He said they were supposed to have told them something about themselves that they didn't know. And he was very vulnerable with her. And I thought that the fact that when he brought up his bald head, and then she said that that was a feature of his that she actually did not like. He was communicating to her the process that it took him losing his hair. So that really could have been a sensitive thing between them. And it really shows how much he's grown through that he allowed her to verbalize, how she felt about not being attracted, to his bald head, knowing the journey that he's taken, just be able to learn how to accept himself, changed. So that was really, that shows that he has a high level of emotional intelligence. So he can get this. I really do I hope when they all look at this, that they can see things in themselves that they can change, because I don't think that the experts are really doing a good job. This is feedback that he needs to be able to hear as he's going through this process, not, once decision days come, then we all looking back at it, like, wow, if I had this insight, maybe I could have made a different, move. So, and then he held her to account. Again, like I'm saying, he kept her in line because she was like, oh, well, I'm this and I'm that. He said, yeah, no, I already know that about you. I need for you to tell me something that I don't know. And I remember, too, in the after show, she said that there's a certain way to be able to communicate with her, so that she can be more verbal. Well, girl, you're going to have to give a map. And you're going to have to write down some detailed instructions because he doesn't know. No, I don't think anybody knows. I keep thinking about her daddy. I keep thinking about this dude. Because I know he knows how difficult, she is. And she's going to have to do something with that. Her beauty is only going to be able to get her to a certain point. And I don't know if she has reached that age when she needs to realize that. So, and even Shaq, as enamored, as he was with her beauty, child, if he doesn't start getting from her what he needs, then he's not going to be interested, in hanging around for her little crumbs, that she's doling out, to him. So, Aries, child, Lord have mercy. I don't even. It just when I hear him being disrespectful to her, he makes me extremely angry, and it becomes very painful to have to watch these scenes lifetime. So Eric has caught COVID, and he's rated Jasmine's care of him a 7. Even though this woman is still working while she's trying to take care of him at the same time. So, and then I really just don't think much of your critical thinking skills, Aries. So your 7 is probably, somewhere between the 8 and the 9 for me. Okay? And then, too, I actually agree with other people, They have to share that space. So he knows that he has COVID. He needs to stay in the bedroom. He does not need to be in the common area exposing her unnecessarily, to that virus. I mean, just the, whew, this boy is selfish. Okay. And he wanted to show his gratitude by taking the dog, who was already going to the groomers anyway, to go get a bath. My mother, when I used to go home, and that's another reason why I stopped going home. She did not like my dog. She didn't like my lab. She tolerated my lab because of me. But she would treat me like I was dirty. Like one time, I know she was looking at me. I don't know what I was getting ready to do. I know I was near the sink and I was going to wash my hands. And she really looked at me like she was disgusted with me. And I mean, that was just ridiculous. It's just certain things about my mother that I just never understood. And she never understood, some things about me, as well. So, yeah, we had a crazy relationship. And that's another story time. So, Eris, he said that he did it for not only to show her his appreciation, but to also have opportunity to bond, with the dog. So, okay, Eris. And one thing I'm wondering about Eris and why, a couple. So I'm wondering if he regrets having stopped talking to that woman that he was talking to for about 5 weeks before he got on the show. I wonder if he regrets breaking up with her and going through this process and having gotten Jasmine. There is something about her that he does not respect. That's why he's talking to her about sex the way that he is. And it brings me in mind when he said that he was going to pull the demon out of her and that she's giving lady where he needs her to give him whore. See, this is popping back into my head. And I didn't like the way he talked to her about not wearing shoes in the house. And all I've seen out of Eris is shoes in the house. When those people, he said to her then, tell your people because my people already know. When they had the housewarming, those two dudes were sitting in that apartment with their shoes on. I think one of Jasmine's sisters wasn't wearing shoes. So I think Jasmine, told them. But yeah, just, the hypocrisy. And then for him to sit there and ask and tell her that she's boring because she hasn't cheated on anybody. And because she hasn't been in an orgy. and she hasn't kissed a woman. Are you serious, Eris? Do you even hear yourself right now? See, this is it. And I told you. Didn't I tell you this joker was a tear? He is a tear, okay? There is nothing godly in him to sit up and say that to that woman. He knows exactly what he's doing. And he kind of reminds me of the guy. I think he wants to see how bad does she want him. How much is she going to twist herself inside out so that, she can be with him. The narcissism that is radiated off Eris in this episode is disgusting. It really honestly is. And I really hope that she says no on decision. I am praying that this girl says no on decision day. Never have I ever. Boy, ooh. Whew. So I'm glad that Jasmine, because they were in a conversation and he asked her how many times had she been in love. He was like 5. And he was saying it to be funny. And she said 3. He was like, oh yeah, well I was close. This boy. Yeah, see, I couldn't tolerate that. I would have to shut all of that conversation straight down. I mean, we can have a good conversation, Eris, but we're going to have it in a way that I'm going to be able to receive it. Okay? Not just the way you want to say it. Okay? You're going to have to filter. You have to put a filter over your tongue. Okay? And get it together. Get it together, Aries. So I'm glad, like I said, he asked her, was she, where was she, with him? And she told him that, yes, she would like, to be in a loving, relationship. But as far as where she is with him, no, she ain't in love. So I'm wondering how he's going to process, that information. Because, see, this is the hypocrisy that is oozing out of Aries in this episode. He says to her that he was in what? Multiple orgies? He's gone orgies. So you can have sex with a total stranger. A total stranger. But there's something about her that doesn't do it, for you. It's kind of hard to really be attracted to somebody that gives you that kind of information and just sits there with the smugness of him. He's sitting there super smug, like, don't you wish, you had a life like mine? Really, Aries? Really? Everybody doesn't like to swing off chandeliers and do all the stuff, that it's just like you don't like dogs and she does, she eats bacon and you don't. People have different tastes and directions and ideas and beliefs, Aries. I mean, it's like, if he were my son and I saw this joker on TV acting like this, I'd be so embarrassed. I really would be embarrassed if I was his mother. And she spoiled him. This boy is ridiculous. And he's disrespecting he's disrespecting his woman on national television. And he's just, to me, I remember too when he said that he was in love with the game. Because this is what I see him doing. And it's Kirsten. I see Kirsten doing the same thing. I do not know what this girl has got going on, but it's something. And it's not 100. She is not being 100% right now. And Aries is being 100% dickhead in this episode. I want to see something else. And like I said, right now I want her to get out. And I feel the same way, about Shaq. I really honestly do. Yeah, that was insulting, to me. I don't know if there's anything else that I want to say about Aries. I'm sure that if I forgot anything, I can immediately pick it up on the next episode. Okay, so who are we talking about right now? We'll do Clint and Gina. Clint and Gina. So Clint talked to his mother. I'm really glad that his mother told him just the bare bones facts about trying to start up and run and maintain your own business, because he won't shut up about Gina not shutting up about this salon. It's like, I don't understand why this is so difficult for him to have grasped. I'm not even there, and I already understood that. It's like, and again, I want to see Clint at work. Now, we didn't see dang, and I wasn't impressed with his boat either. That's just not me. I mean, it looks like you'd be sitting up out in the sun all day. Who wants to do that? I want to be able to retire. So I don't even know what that... And he talks about this boat like it's something. So I hope the other one is actually the kind of boat that would get my respect. Because I think that nest that they was on is a waste of money. You could have... And if the other boat is not up to my standard, I really will think that something's wrong with him. Why would you have two stupid boats like that when you could just combine them and get one nice boat? Anyway, I'm not doing this with Clint this time. So yeah, I thought that was a productive conversation that he had with his mother. I don't know if that's clipped, and I don't know. I forgot to look and see what Lifetime had clipped. So I might put that up. I'll think about it. Gina, okay, so Clint goes and visits Gina at the salon. I don't know why the Joker won't get a haircut. I mean, every time I look at Clint's hair now, I don't like it. He needs to do something with his hair. It's like looking real limp. And I have, oh my goodness, I'm telling you, I have seen some men around these parts with some gorgeous hair. Their hair looks so good that I couldn't even stop looking at it to look at the rest of them. Glossy, I mean, just a beautiful cut. I mean, you look at the cut, you could just see the professionalism just dripping off of it. Fine child. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, Clint needs to go get a haircut. He needs to do something with his hair. I think that would actually help him, in his relationship, with Gina. He needs one bad. I got bad underline. So, yeah, as I talked about them going sailing, I was glad that, she made time. I think this show is going to be healthy for Gina in that it gives her a perspective for that work-life balance. I think that's what she was missing. So even if her and Clint don't end up staying together, I think that's something that she will have gotten organically. And then she can use that information, to help her make better, another type of decision, in the future. And then they ended the episode with them going to see professional bull riding. That looked like they were, having fun. I thought overall that this was a good episode, for them. When they got the questions, from the experts, they were able, to kind of share some stuff, with each other. And when Gina was sharing, her experience, it kind of reminded me of how hurt she was, on the honeymoon. And I think that sense of rejection, but in what he was saying, was the thing that spurred those emotions, for her. And the Clint shared an unexpected, pregnancy that came up, and I thought that was, interesting. It's nice to be able to see Clint, a human being. I didn't like the Clint that showed up at the salon, but he said that, he felt like it was important for him to go, check it out, show some support. Child, please go do something with your head. And I have to remember, I'm going to go back and look for this. There's a clip. There is a scene at the beginning where Clint was like, he could be the stay-at-home dad while she worked. So this is another reason why I think they put them together. So I'm going to see if I can go back and find that, and then I'll put it there as a flashback. Okay, so who else do we have? Chris and Nicole. They are still the best couple in this experiment thus far. They had a couples massage. Chris got too much hair. If I were a masseuse and I had to massage somebody with that much hair on them, that would be unpleasant. That would be an unpleasant test for me. Nicole planned a date because Chris planned this date, the couples massage. And I thought they were, trying to have a substantive conversation. Nicole is asking him to help her remain aware of things that are important to him. She doesn't, want to cause a problem because she's not thinking. So she's making him mindful that don't just assume that I'm always, focused in on what's going on, with you. Make sure you communicate, what I mean, so that we can try to stay on the same page, with each other. And she's trying to prevent conflict, and I actually can appreciate that. The thing, the hard part about conflict is that is actually the thing that can bring you the closest together. If you come out of it still respecting each other and having learned something, from that conflict. So nobody wants to go through conflict, but if it's if you go the appropriate way through the conflict, then it can actually be beneficial. So when Chris brings up the whole weight, situation, I think that was her having a moment of "I'm sorry, you said what?" kind of moment, and I don't know if I've seen her have that with him. So she was trying to be understanding, and I think it was a good idea for him to try to head it off at the pass. And I support Chris in that he said it today. He said it during the episode, and he said it when he was asked the question that her thickness is not a bad thing to him. I mean, they're the only couple that are having sex. Nicole, you're having sex, girl. You got Jasmine over here, Miss Beauty Queen, all right? 2 times thinner than you are, or at least 1 time thinner than you are. And she's not having sex, Nicole. Your husband thinks that you are attractive to him. So it kind of reminds me of how we use words and the power, that we give them. So like if a person doesn't like the word bad because they've always heard they were bad their entire life, but then they start hanging around black people and black people be like, girl, that was bad. Did you see that girl? Girl, it was bad. And they're like, okay, what are you talking about? There's nothing wrong. It's the syntax. So bad can also mean good in certain cultures. Bad doesn't always have to mean bad. Or a tool. Okay? If somebody is being a tool, that is different than an actual tool. So I think Nicole is giving the word thick too much energy, but I do understand. I mean, it's a trigger. It's a trigger for her. And this is an invitation and an opportunity for her to take that power away from that word and do something new, with it. Especially when you got a man that's serving you up. And the rest of the women and men, because Shaq is ready and he can't, yeah, his wife is child. I'm not doing this with Kirsten. Okay. So she wanted to take him to her neighborhood, so she planned to date at an absinthe restaurant. It's like drinking what? Battery fluid. I'm not drinking that. Alcohol is already poison enough. I don't need to go and get some actual poison and put it inside of me. No. See, that's stuff that white people do. I'm not doing that. So they were talking about love, and Chris just had to lay it down to her that he doesn't know when he's going to fall in love with her. It could be a month. It could be 2 months. It could be 3 months. He doesn't know. And he's okay with that. He's along for the ride. And when he's ready to tell her that he loves her, he'll let her know. So I thought that he said it, that's just it. That's just all to it. And there was just nothing else she could say. I did appreciate that she said in the outtake that to her, it doesn't matter which one of them gets to that point first. She thinks that whoever gets there first should say it. She just wants him to say it first. And he has picked that message up. He knows, Nicole. He knows that you want him to say it first. And he is not going to do it until he gets good and damn ready. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So, I think that was the biggest... Well, no, they had those 2 big conversations. They had the love conversation, and then they had the conversation about the weight. And she gave him grace. I appreciate, her for that. She is good about giving him grace when she can. So, I think that they're still in a good, space. And it's really nice to be able to see 2 people actually getting along, with each other. So I think that is it for Married at First Sight. episode 10. I've got a lot going on, guys. I can't even talk about the court stuff that I was talking about, in the last video, because my apartment actually caught on fire last Tuesday, and it's been a whole mess. It's been an entire mess. I didn't even know if I was going to do a video. So it has kind of helped taking my mind, off of what I got going on, for a little bit. So I appreciate all the new subscribers, and everybody, who comes and listens to me and gives me support in the videos. You guys are really helpful, to me, and I appreciate you. So I will talk to you on episode number 11. And I don't know when I'm going to do a story time about this about this fire craziness, but I think it was an electrical fire. I wasn't home when it happened, and I walked up to my apartment with groceries, thinking I'm going back into my apartment, and it took me 2 days to find my cats. It's just been something. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to be able to share about it, but thanks for listening, and I will have that lifetime clip, down there for you guys. So until the next video.